Hey YouTube! So for this week's video, I thought we could look at what I've done for my doors in my game, about maybe when you want to teleport to another location, or if you want to open a new level, you could have a world hub with different doors, something like that. And reminiscent of Super Mario Sunshine or Super Mario 64. You have these doors that you can go into. Now this one is locked, and then it does this. And the eye follows. It's a basic look at. When I enter this collision, it looks at the player, and then it lures back to its normal position when I exit the collision. Now I have a variable here that I can take this as unlocked, and then when I enter, the door is open, and I have a 3D parallax with a plane there. So if I were to enter, you could have a menu come up or whatever you like. And right now I have that it goes into the portal. Pretty much that. So we can look at the actor. The blueprint here. So in this, I have basically the 3D mesh with an eye that's separate that determines its look at. And then I have two arrows that the component moves to for the doors when it opens. So if we look here, when I enter and I am the character, I am the player character, I set my other actor to that character so I can get the location and stuff. And then I look if I'm in range, and if I am in the box, I am in range. That's what I'm setting here. And if it's unlocked, then I open the door. Otherwise, I just go to a timer here. Now, a timer basically plays a function over and over if it's looping, and it is on a time. So, by Gizmo, and if uh, if the player is in range, it keeps going. And you can take the time to be very small, like 1 seconds, so it works on different frame rates and stuff. And it also checks this when I'm exiting, because it looks up the player inside range or inside, and then that I am setting to false when I'm exiting the collision here. And if I'm not in the range, I want the eye to return to its official position. Now this looks weird because it has an offset here, but it could be 0, 0, 0 for you, or whatever its normal position is. And I open this is closing the doors, and this is opening the doors. So it can only open or close once. Like if it's opened all the way, then it can close. If it's closed all the way, then it can open. Because I don't want it to jitter. Like I can go out and in and go out and in, and it just gets weird. So I have that on the onces and resets on when it is completed. And I also have a check for if that was because it was kind of buggy at first. So then I have the check doors later. I can talk about lerping here. It basically goes between two values, and this is a rotate lerp, and that it goes from a timeline. The open timeline here, it has a track, and you can set the length, and usually goes from 0 to 1 for the lerp. Yeah. And I also have implemented an interface here called Interact. And Interact is connected to my character. So if it is inside this range, it chooses the Interact target. And then well, once you know the interact target, you can interact to that target. And that it goes here. So if it's unlocked or not depends. So if it's unlocked, then you do the whole zoom in on the camera thing. And if you don't know how to do that in a simple way, I have another tutorial called 2.5D still camera. You can look that up. It basically is that one. It can only do that once. But I'm thinking of resetting here when I'm exiting a menu or something. And you can have the unlock of being on when you have an event for different things like killed all enemies within this range or something like that. And you can also lerp colors, and you can set the parameters values on materials. So if I have my material for the eye here, which looks kind of weird on this smaller sphere, but basically it can take this color value and ramp it to say red and back through a lerp, and you can access this parameter. Parameters are, you can set those values in the material instance. So you get that here, and basically it says color here, so I can get the color here, and it's not the same as the cat eye matte or the material. It's the material instance. So remember that if you want to have the dynamical materials and here, I think it only works with instance materials, but I'm not sure. But you should probably have it on instance materials anyway. And it's a vector parameter value on materials is no problem. You change the color value here, and it's lerps, and that happens. It plays from the start when it is locked. If it's not, if it is unlocked rather, then you should do this once. You should go forth. You should. It is a pin string that just checks that it happens, and then I'm disabling the input from my player so it can't move out of where since it entered or since it interacted. And then I'm setting the camera. This is a function from last time. I don't know why it's called collision monitor. I should probably change the name. But that is, I'm taking an actor and I'm moving the player camera to that actor. And then I'm setting the actor location of the actor that the camera is on. And I'm doing that on a lerp, so I call lerp camera. But I'm also changing the eyes alpha. So you remember from here, I have an alpha, and this is called scalar parameter. The other one was a vectors for like colors and stuff. This is for basically floats, anything that has a ramp value. And it is on the alpha, so I get this function here that goes like kind of opaque, translucent. And then I can talk about the plane that is hidden here on the door. If I go very slowly, you can see there's a hidden image behind the door, and that is with I have scene capture. So what you do to make that work, it has to fix the camera. To make that work, you go scene capture cube, and then you get this camera. So if you wanted a picture of the camera or the portal in the portal just for fun, you could do this. And you need to set a render target, and that is this here. But you can just go here and you can type cube render target. It's there. I think it's also on texture cube render target. Yeah. Texture cube render target. It can be anything. Now it's all green because it doesn't have an input. But if you drag it in here to the camera and you save or update, then you get this here. And you can create a static texture from this. So you have this basically, and you don't have to do many of these. Just one is enough. Like one random target, but maybe you want many textures or something. But since this is a very heavy, intense thing, you shouldn't play the game with this on. I'm gonna delete the camera, the scene capture cube, and I'm gonna save here. Now I have this cube room mat, which is the material. You can change the material here to anything you like. For this could be an instance actually, so we can make this into a material instance called 3D cube room portal. Or we could just do cube room portal material instance. I usually have the naming conventions at the end. I like it that way. And if you make this into a parameter and called image or something like that, texture image, and you also need to have this interior cube map here from the UV interior cube map, and then you take a tiling, and if you have this on 0.5, it's more zoomed in. If it's on 1, it's further out, and if you have it on many, you get many of them. So you should do. I like doing it on 1, maybe 1.5 0.5. Oh, 0.8 maybe. And then we can also convert this to pyramid and call it zoom, maybe. And if we take this material instance here, for this particular one, I might want the new image. I don't know what's called here. You can name this portal texture one. Go into the instance and then we just write portal texture one. Then I get that of the that there. And I have the zoom on, let's do 0.5. And then I have actually on the construct script on the door, construction script, I set the material here. So on for the plane that is in the background, I did those in Blender. You can see it's not, it is not set to anything here, but if I would like, I could change it to have a default value or something. Doesn't matter. But if I click on this, I can have Cube Matte, and change this to Cube Matte. I'm not sure why this one doesn't show up. It could be because this material here is supposed to be the interface, and we can call it portal background. Let's delete this. Do something like that. Yeah, so it needs to be material interface, and then you can have this, for example, and then we go here, and it looks at itself. The cube renderer could be better, and you could have different. You could have your own kind of images back there. You could have different cube maps or whatever kind of thing that's cool, I guess. I just like it because it reminds me of Super Mario Sunshine. And so yeah, that's the door. And you could have, like I said, I have a door ID here, so you connect the door ID to an event for like killing this many in the level or unlocked teleportation at this place or something. I also like the idea of the eye. It reminds me. I think it's pretty cool. And then it goes back to its original position. Yeah. There's not much more to it. Thank you. And have a great weekend.